Shabbat Shalom and Chag Sameach, Happy Sukkot. Welcome to those joining us here in person and participating from home through our live stream for our Shabbat of Sukkot service. We begin our service in the middle of page 1 with an explanation of where this holiday comes from. You shall hold the Feast of Sukkot for 7 days after the gathering of your threshing floor and your winepress. For Adonai your God will bless all your crops and all of your undertakings, and you shall have nothing but joy. V'samachta b'chagecha v'hayita ach sameach. You shall dwell in booths or Sukkot for 7 days. All community members of Israel shall dwell in booths, so that your generations may know that I made the children of Israel dwell in booths when I brought them out of the land of Egypt. I am Adonai your God. So we continue our service on page 2 with the responsive reading. Into this sanctuary we have brought the symbols of Sukkot, the Lulav that resembles the human spine, the myrtle whose leaves are shaped like eyes, the willow whose leaves resemble human lips, the etrog shaped like the human heart, God of Israel, let our senses be filled with love for you and your will. Let our harvest be shared with all. So if you haven't had the opportunity to shake the lulav for Sukkot yet and you would like to try tonight, I'll do a little demonstration, and we have 2 lulavs here. So children and adults are welcome to participate. So we have our etrog, which you can still kind of smell through the mask, which is exciting. We weren't sure if that was going to work out. And then we've got our lulav, our palm frond, our myrtle, and our willow all together, these 4 species of Sukkot that we just talked about their symbolism. So we'll hold them and face east if you want to shake the lulav. And you hold your 2 hands together and recite the blessing, which you can find on the bottom of page 2. And then you'll shake it in every direction 3 times in each one. I'll do a demonstration, and anyone who'd like to can come up and try. So the blessing is Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Kidshanu B'mitzvotav V'tzivanu Al Netilat Lulav. So that's just in all directions to kind of symbolize either God's presence being everywhere, not just in key locations, or kind of the goodness and blessings that we hope will be everywhere in the world. So if you'd like to try to shake the lulav, I invite you to come up and just kind of space out as you wait. We don't have a mad rush. All right. We'll have, Stan, you'd like to try? And if anyone wants to do this later, you can also do it later if you don't feel like it right now. To the east 3 times, and then in all directions 3 times. All right, like I said, they'll be here all week, so we continue on page 3 with our Shabbat Candles. I'd like to invite up David and Lisa Levine to do the English reading and Shabbat candle lighting.
In your abundant love, O God, you have given us the Shabbat of rest, this feast of gladness, and the season of joy. Let us remember on this holy day to share our abundant harvest with the hungry, to open our homes to those who need of shelter, and to lighten the heavy burden others have carried all week. As the Shabbat candles bring light into our homes, so too may our deeds bring light into this world. Okay. And I start, okay. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu bad mitzvah Vitzivanu lechadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. So at this point in our service, we think of the week that is past, and we hold on to all of the good things from this past week. So if you had an experience that inspired gratitude, if you have some good news to share, no matter how big or how small, I invite you to share that joy with the community now. Yeah, Jack? Mazel tov. Excellent work. Margaret? Mazel tov on the new job and the new car. I'm glad the first week went well. And Eddie?
I had quiz today and I was very nervous about when I showed up and the professor moved it to my bed.
Excellent. Best news all week. I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad that she's visiting. That's awesome. So we thank God for all of these blessings, including the blessing of simply being alive, with the words of Shehechianu near the top of page 4. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu hazman hazeh. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu hazman hazeh. And we continue with Lecha Dodi. Lecha Dodi V'itkat Kala Yalala 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 B'nei Shabbat Mekavela. Lecha Dodi V'itkat Kala Yalala 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 B'nei Shabbat Mekavela. Ah to symbolically welcome in the presence of Shabbat. On page 5 with the responsive reading. To be of the earth is to know the darkness of being planted, the pain of growth into the light, the love of being food for someone, the decay of the seasons, the miracle of birth. We continue with the official call to worship, the Baruch Hu, on page 6. The colors of early evening sky blend and deepen, allowing new lights to be seen twinkling through the branches, the promise that in darkness new light will be revealed. We continue with the Shema, the bottom of the page. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Continue on page 7. Ve'ahavta את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. Teach me, O God, a blessing, a prayer. On the mystery of a withered leaf, on ripened fruit so fair, to breathe, to know, to hope, to despair. Teach my lips a blessing, a hymn of praise, as each morning and night you renew your days, lest my day today be as the one before, lest routine set my ways. We continue with Mi Chamocha on page 8. Continue with Hashkivenu, which is a prayer that's done every night, but we don't often highlight it at Orami. I like to bring it out for Sukkot because of a special phrase. We ask God, Ufrosa lenu Sukkat shlomecha, spread over us the sukkah or shelter of your peace. So we think about even being indoors so that we can have this on live stream. Think about ourselves being in this metaphorical sukkah, this shelter of peace within ourselves and within our relationships and hopefully throughout the world. Ata Adonai, hapores Sukkot shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. And we continue with Vishamru on the bottom of page 9.
Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
Prayer invites God's presence to suffuse our spirits, God's will to prevail in our lives. Prayer may not bring water to parched fields, nor mend a broken bridge, nor rebuild a ruined city. But prayer can water an arid soul, mend a broken heart, and rebuild a broken will. Please rise for our central prayer, the Amidah.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Leah Elohei Rachel Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor Hanora El Hayom Gomer Chasadim Tovim Vekonei Hakol Vezocher Chastei Avot Ve'imahot Umevi Geula Lifnei Bneihem Lema'an Shemo Be'ahava Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומדוללך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. Please be seated. We continue with a quiet moment for personal prayer or reflection. Page 12. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tov beinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael, bechol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. At this point in our service, we think of loved ones in need of healing. Tonight, we think especially of Beth Levine, Rabbi Jerry Levy, and Jean Sanders. Are there other loved ones whose healing we wish to pray for tonight? With the power of community, we pray for their refuah shlema, the complete healing of body and or spirit, the words of Mishiberach in the middle of page 12. Oh There once was a poor man named Antosh who lived in a small Eastern European village. Antosh worked very hard to support his family by selling whatever items he could from his rickety old wagon. But one year, there was a shortage of the usual merchandise like soap, salt, and tea leaves. Antosh went into town to see if anyone in the market square had other wares that he could peddle in his village, but there was nothing that he could afford. As Antosh explained his struggle to one of the other merchants, a Jewish merchant happened to overhear his plight. It was late September and approaching the holiday of Sukkot, so this Jewish businessman suggested that Antosh go into the woods to collect branches and sell them to the Jewish community living in a nearby shtetl. They will need these branches to build special huts called Sukkot, he explained to Antosh. You can make a profit by simplifying the process and bringing pre-cut branches straight to their homes. At first, Antosh was skeptical. Would people really buy tree branches from him? It seemed like a risky business move, but Antosh hadn't managed to find any other products to sell. So off to the woods he went. Antosh brought his axe and filled his wagon with beautiful and hardy tree branches. The next day, he pulled his wagon through the shtetl, shouting, "Branches! Get your branches for Sukkot from Antosh the woodchopper!" People rushed out of their houses to see this delivery and purchased every last branch from Antosh. On the way home, he passed through the town market square and picked up some delicacies for his family. He could not believe his good fortune. Antosh resolved on that day to sell branches for Sukkot every September. When next September rolled around, Antosh brought his axe to the woods and filled his wagon once again. The next day, he pulled his wagon through the shtetl, shouting, "Branches! Get your branches for Sukkot from Antosh the woodchopper!" As he pulled his branch-filled wagon through the street, two women looked at Antosh with pity in their eyes, while a group of children tried and failed to stifle their laughter. "Why are they laughing?" Antosh asked one of the women. "I'm afraid you are too late this year. Sukkot has already started," she explained. "Already started? But this date last year was 4 days before the beginning of Sukkot. How could the holiday have already started?" asked Antosh in bewilderment. The woman then explained how the Jewish calendar was based on the cycles of the moon, which meant that Jewish holidays like Sukkot fell at different times of each Gregorian year. Antosh's heart sank as he realized that he would not be able to sell his heavy wagon load of branches. That meant no money to buy food for his family this month. He looked down at his worn boots in misery and began to trudge home through the muddy street. As he passed through the shtetl square, the big doors of the synagogue swung open. Men started pouring out, Jews in well-brushed black coats and fur-trimmed hats. They all seemed to be heading toward Antosh. Not ready to give up, Antosh hoped that maybe someone in the crowd had yet to build their sukkah and would still want to purchase a few branches. He shouted, "Branches! Get your branches for Sukkot from Antosh the woodchopper!" The crowd surrounded Antosh and his wagon. "Thank you for coming," said one man. "Only you are a little late. 1 little day late. Today is already the holiday itself. Everyone's sukkah is already covered," said another. "I know," said Antosh, "but my family needs food. Last year I could feed my family for weeks after selling branches for Sukkot, but this year I have nothing." "Poor Antosh," said a boy in the crowd. "We ought to buy his branches," another man suggested. "But how can we? It's a sacred holiday today, not a time for commerce," his neighbor answered. "Wait a minute," said someone. "Listen to me, everybody." The speaker jostled his way through the crowd, clambering up on Antosh's wagon. He shouted to the townsfolk, "Antosh has worked so hard. He meant well. He helped us all build our Sukkot last year with the most beautiful branches. It's our duty now to help him. We don't have to pay him today. He doesn't need money. He needs food. We can't let him go away empty-handed. Won't you open your hearts and give Antosh what he needs in return for his labors?" Everyone was quiet for a moment. Then Samuel the baker said in his deep voice, "He is right. I will give Antosh 6 loaves of bread." And Reuben the butcher nodded. "I'll throw in 5 chickens." And David the fish dealer said, "I will give him 7 carp." Then they all chimed in and offered barley and rice until Antosh's wagon was filled with all kinds of delicious foods. Antosh had never known such kindness in all his life.
The poor man was beside himself with joy. He did not know whether to laugh or cry. Slowly he stood up on his wagon. "Dear friends," he stammered, "I am not one to make speeches. I can only say how grateful I am. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you." Antosh grabbed the handle of his wagon. As he was about to set off down the road, someone gave him a big piece of challah. "Here, take it home." "Here's another piece," said someone else. Then everyone began to bring Antosh challah. He was so overwhelmed that he could only murmur over and over, "Thank you, thank you." Everyone was happy. Mordechai, who spared nothing in celebrating the holidays, brought out a glass of whiskey for Antosh. "Here, drink this and farewell," he said. Antosh swallowed the whiskey in one gulp, took a bite of challah, and cried out, "I'll never forget your kindness. Never, ever, my friends." As Antosh pulled his food-filled wagon down the road, the community realized that getting ready for Sukkot did not just mean arranging branches to make their sukkah's roof. This holiday also meant remembering to help our neighbors in a time of need. And that year, they were all able to celebrate both aspects of this holiday. May we be blessed to do the same, and let us say, Amen. So I'd like to invite up our synagogue president to offer some brief announcements on behalf of the board.
Shabbat Shalom. It's nice to see so many people here tonight in person and to celebrate Sukkot. Tomorrow, Torah study will take place at 11 a.m. in person and virtually. And this Sunday, religious school starts. Yay. And in celebration of Simchat Torah, which will be Wednesday of this week, there will be Shabbat service next Friday, the Simchat Torah service here at 7:30, and again virtually. Finally, Monday, October 4th, the Orami Book Club will be meeting at 7 p.m., and they'll be discussing The Sunflowers on the Possibilities and Limits of Forgiveness by Simon Wiesenthal, and that's a virtual meeting. I think that's it. I hope everyone will join us. We can have the Kiddush in the Sukkah, right? After the service tonight. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
And we continue our service on page 13 with Aleinu. Please rise in body or spirit for the Aleinu prayer. Aleinu leshabeach la'adon hakol, la'tet gedula li'otzeh breshit, shelo asanu k'goyei haratzot, velo samanu כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגור עלינו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא, יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. Please be seated. At this point in our service, we think of loved ones who have passed away recently or at this time in years past. Tonight we remember with love the yahrzeits of Esther Grainer, mother of Suzanne Horton, Shirley Lazink, sister of Alan Arkava, David Leibovic, brother of Steve Leibovic, Andrew Levitas, father of Linda Schirm, Roberta Lutz, sister of Beth Levine, Eleanor Miller, mother of Martin Miller, and Helen Wires, mother of Jeannie Engler. Are there other loved ones we wish to remember tonight?
Zichronam Livracha, may their memories always be a blessing. We rise as a community of support for the Mourners Kaddish on page 14. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, Bialma divrach hirute v'amlich malchute, B'chayechon uvyomechon, uvchaye dechol beit Yisrael, Ba'agala uvizman kari v'imru Amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam olomei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yitalev v'yithalal shmei dekudesha b'richu. Le'ela mikol birchata v'shirata. Tush bechata v'nechamata. Da'amiran be'alma v'imru Amen. Yehi shlama Rabbah min shemaya. V'chayim alenu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, alenu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn, and may we be a source of comfort for those who are bereaved, and let us say Amen. Please be seated. We conclude our service tonight on the top of page 15 with In My Sukkah.
So the cool thing about this song is all of it's repeat after me except for the chorus. So we're going to go over the chorus because it's probably been a bit since we've sung this song. So I'll sing the first part and you can sing it right after me. Shake, shake, shake the lulav. Let's sing that. Shake, shake, shake the lulav. Next part. Smell the etrog so sweet. Together. Smell the etrog so sweet. Next part. Come and have a look-a in my sukkah. Together. Come and have a look-a in my sukkah. And help yourself something to eat. Together. And help yourself something to eat. In my sukkah. In my sukkah. In my sukkah. Okay, the rest is just repeat after me. Built a little sukkah.
Built a little sukkah
Out in the back.
out in the back.
Looks like a house.
Looks like a house
And
a little like a shack.
too big.
It's not too big.
And it's not too high.
It's not too high.
When
you sit inside,
you can see the sky.
you can see the
Together.
sky.
Shake, shake, shake the lulav. Smell the entrails so sweet. Come and have a look-a in my sukkah and help yourself something to eat. In my sukkah. In my sukkah. In my sukkah. I built the roof.
I built the roof
Of sticks and twigs.
of sticks and twigs,
Strung up
strung up apples
and lots of figs.
and lots of figs,
And some bananas.
some bananas.
And that's not all.
That's not all.
There.
Fruits and veggies
All over the wall.
all over the wall.
Together. Shake, shake, shake the lulav. Smell the entrails so sweet. Come and have a look-a in my sukkah. And help yourself something to eat. In my sukkah. In my sukkah.
In my sukkah.
Last verse. Built my sukkah
Built my sukkah
of
cloth and wood. Looks so pretty and it smells so good.
with leaves and branches
Leaves and branches
all around.
all around. We all light candles when the sun goes down.
Shake, shake, shake the lulav. Smell the entrails so sweet. Come and have a look-a in my sukkah and help yourself something to eat. In my sukkah. In my sukkah. In my sukkah.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
And Chag Sameach. If you can return your services to the table near the entrance and join us outside in the sukkah for Kiddush and Motzi.